victorious people. I am Evangelist Rochelle Morris. I came to bring another word of encouragement today. I want to also start off with saying that I apologize for the flyer yesterday having a wrong number, but today we will begin our Bible study, studying the word, learning the lessons on prayer, lessons on fasting. We will begin today, and it will be the same flyer, but it will have the right number on it today. So please accept my apology. I am sorry for yesterday, but we will begin today, and the right number will be on the flyer, because as I say with every time I come on here, is that we're doing this together, and I don't want nobody to get discouraged. We want to join in so that we can continue our walk together. It's always better when people are doing it together. We can push each other. We can encourage one another, and we can help each other to stand through our trials, stand through our tribulations. We're going to apply the word to our situations and circumstance that we can be overcomers. See, we have to have some word in us. We have to speak the word. So this is what we will be doing. We will be learning how to fast together. We're not just going to jump into it, but we're going to take it slow so that you can learn how to be consistent in fasting. Fasting is a part of prayer. We need to empty ourselves out so that we can so God can fill us with his love and his peace. And we have the fruits of the Spirit inside. But he can't give us the fruits of the Spirit inside until he cleanses us out and purges. So we're going to build up our prayer life so that we can learn also to fast and pray. They go together. So, and then reading the word, we're also going to be challenging you to do, learn scriptures and, just different things that we can do to build our foundation. God keeps saying that it starts with building a foundation. If you don't have a foundation, you are being tossed to and fro. So you have to have a foundation in order to grow and go forth. So that's what we're starting with. And also today I'll be talking about faith. And Hebrews 1:11 says that now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. See, we have to have faith because we don't go by our sight. We don't go by what we see. We believe. We have to believe that God is with us. We have to believe that he's a helper and a keeper and a provider and a healer. So we believe, so we do not go by what we see. We will build up our faith to believe that what we don't see, it still can be done. And it will be done. So that's what we're going to be doing. You can't see it, but you can believe it until it manifests. That's one of the things, we get a word and we get upset because the word didn't come back. Guess what? God's timing is not our timing. God's timing is not our timing. So we have to hold on to the arms of the altar. We have to hold on and believe if God said it, he will do it. Because see, God don't lie. If he said it, he will do it. You have to hold on no matter how long it takes. I don't care how long it's been. Continue to hold on. There is some promises that God made me, and I'm going to hold on to them till the day I'm gone. It don't matter if I see it when I leave, I'm going to still know that God going to do what he said he was going to do. And so you will through the prayer and through the trusting. You have to learn to trust in God. So once you learn to trust in Him and you build up your faith, glory to God, then you don't look at things the way you see them. I don't see my children the way they are. I see them what God said to me. So I could let them go because I know what God said. And so I just wait for God to manifest what He says. So every time I see them, I say, and they can be acting crazy, and I'll be like this, but that ain't what God said. This is what I tell myself, because my faith believes God. I know that He's going to do it without a shadow of a doubt. I done seen Him change some things. I done seen Him turn it around. So my faith in prayer, consistently in prayer, and believing, and because I seen Him do some things that you can't, I won't doubt Him now. I don't doubt what He say, because if He said it, I know He is faithful to do it. So we're going to talk about the faith, and through tests and trials is what help you build your faith. If you don't go through nothing, how you going to believe in anything? You go and you still going through. It doesn't matter if you're in God or not in God. You go through tests and trials. You go through circumstances and situations, because that's life. But because we have God with us, we can endure it. We can endure it. And because our faith is being built up, it helps us. It strengthens us to keep going on. Those situations and those trials do not overtake you, because you have enough faith to know that God going to turn this thing around. God going to fix it. God going to heal. So when you build up your most holy faith in God through trials and tribulations, nobody said nothing about a bed of roses. You go through trials and tribulations. See, I had to pick up my cross and die. I died to myself, and God picked it back up. Because I no longer belong to me, I belong to Him. So, we die daily. And it's always sin all around us. Listen, this is what Peter said. So we have to, that's why we have to build a firm foundation. And this is why we have to learn to be consistent in what we're doing. Wavering back and forth and all over the place, and one day you're sure, the next minute you're not. One time you go through a situation, that's how Israel did. Whenever He would bring them out, whenever He would deliver them, then they would, soon as something else come up, they start complaining, and then they started moaning, then they started making images and stuff. And we do the same thing. Soon as God brings us through something, or He fix something, or He heals us, as soon as something else come up, girl, we talk calling our friends, our family, everybody but God. Did I tell you what happened to me? And you sitting there like, no, that's not what you do. You have to learn to trust in God. So when you trust in God, you ain't calling no friends. You ain't calling no family. You ain't calling the pastor. You ain't calling nobody but God. When I go through, and I go through all the time, because that's life. But I've learned to carry my burdens to God. Then He strengthens me, and I'll be like, that's just a light affliction, or that's a test, and I can make it through that. And I say, Lord, I can make it through it, and I put Him in the midst of it. I turn it over to Him. And when I turn it over to him, I don't go pick it back up. I just pray on it until it manifests. I don't stop praying. I keep praying, but I don't talk to people. I don't bring it back up and try to fix it. I pray about it and I leave it at the altar until it's manifested. You don't pick it back up and start telling people. No, they can't help you. They're not going to help you to make it through it. God will help you. He will strengthen you. He will give you a word of encouragement. He will, listen, everything you need is in God. So when you get into his presence, he brings what you need, that healing. When you cry out to him, he's listening. And he wants to heal you. And he wants to deliver you. And he wants you to be set free. Because who the Son set free is free indeed. He wants you to have better. But we all have a part to do in it too. And that's what he has me doing now. Between this, the videos and the lessons that we'll be doing on the conference calls, is to help us all, even me, to have a firm foundation in our walk. And every day we can overcome and, obstacles and situations that comes up against us. And we find we can walk in power. Power is in our tongue. But we don't know that because most of the time we're using our tongue against someone else, talking to other people. We're not using it to speak against the enemy. And if you don't know the tricks of the enemy, or if you don't know, he's a repeated offender. So he repeats everything. He knows you. He got you down pat. So first, it always starts in our mind. So if we're not renewed in our mind, how can you change how you act? How can you change what you're doing? You're not, because your mindset is still the same. So through prayer, God begins to change your mindset. He lets you see you, and then you say, Father, help me in that area. Free will. God don't force nothing on nobody. He's not going to make you change. He's not going to no. You want this yourself. You want to change yourself. I didn't want to change for a long time before I came to God and truly gave myself to him. I was in and out of church. I would come in, and say, oh, let me get some word. And then I'd go back out and do what I wanted to do. And one day I realized I'm just tired of the same thing. It's like a vicious circle of going nowhere. And because I was tired, I came in and I said, I surrender. And when I started surrendering, because it was a process. It just didn't happen. That was it. Now I had to start a process. You know how you can't even imagine the things we have inside of us. So God had to cleanse me. And for months, I used to cry. Oh my God. I used to cry at the altar. I would be crying. Snot be running all down your nose. You're slobbering all up that real cry that make you look real ugly. So I would be, because while I was doing that, he was cleansing me. He was purging me from the stuff, all of the stuff that was built up in me that was not of him. And even to this day, he will cleanse you until the day that he comes. Because we're flesh. But That's the flesh. But guess what? Your spirit man can be made whole. So the flesh, and guess what? The flesh have to come under subjection of the spirit man. So once you die to yourself and God pick it back up, guess what? He lives in you through your spirit, man. He leads me, he guides me, and he show me truth. If it's something inside of me, when he give us a word, before it comes to you, it comes to me. So I say, oh Lord, am I acting like that, Lord? Am I doing that? Lord, I don't want to do that. I need to show them differently. I need to respond differently. I need to love a little bit more. And I see these things, and then I go in prayer, and before I know it, I'm doing these things, and because God has taken over. Because I asked him to take it out. God is not a genie. Too many times we sitting there, well, I'm in process. Yes, but what are you doing in process? What are you doing? When I wanted to change my get myself together, because I didn't play with kids. I didn't play with my children, and they knew I would jump on you in a minute, and I'm old school. You don't talk when I'm talking. I don't care how old you is, and you do what I tell you to do. So I did not play with him, and my son, he's really tall. He's 6'4", and I wanted to throw him down the step. Well, actually, I wanted to kick him down the step, and I said, he was about 19, and he was popping off at the mouth, and I was at the step, and I said, boy, I'm about to give it to you. And the anger started coming up, and ordinarily I would have responded in that kind of response. And at that moment, I asked God to help me to change how I respond to him. And when he did, the Spirit of God actually shut me down. I was getting ready to open my mouth. I couldn't even say nothing. And I was standing there looking around like, oh, I can't even say nothing. And all I could do was go in the room. When I went in the room, I ain't come out for a couple of days because God began to deal with my anger. My anger and my bitterness that I had inside of me. It took a couple of days for me to actually get this out, for him to get it out of me. But when I came out, I was changed. I mean, listen, I wasn't even cursing, and I was a cursor. And literally he had took it out, so my whole talk began to change. I was no longer cursing. I learned to respond to them differently. You know why? Because I asked God to come in and help me. We can't keep saying God is doing a work on us, or I'm in process. Don't judge me because I'm in process. Listen, let me tell you something. We have a part to play in being in process. Okay? And we have to invite God in. He's not coming in there changing nothing until you want it. Because he don't go by, what he see, he goes by a heart. And if you're true and you really want to change, you can change. And he can do it instantly. So don't keep saying, oh, I'm in process. I say, what are you doing? What are you doing to change? You tired of cursing? Did you ask him to help you? Are you really tired? Because if you is, and you go to God and ask him to help you, he will change you. He will change your language. Yes. You don't have to be the way you are. You don't have to go through what you go through. God can turn it around for you. But it is a process that we have to go through, because guess what? The stuff be embedded in us. And he has to take it out of us and cleanse us and wash us and purge us. So see, so he can, guess what? He has to heal that hurt that was in our heart. I was hurt. I was bitter. I was angry. You have to heal that. Then he can give you love and peace and joy. You see what I'm saying? He takes something out and he gives you something back. And that love, once you experience that love, it's unbelievable. It's like nothing you ever experience again. And once you experience it, the more you want. And that's what helps you to grow and to get, better and to seek after God more. So that's going to be our lesson for today. That, listen, we're going to continue to build our foundation together, our walk into being victorious together. And I am so thankful that I have you, and you to do it with. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you again tomorrow. I'll be posting again. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. Stand tall in God. And whatever you're going through, make sure you call on him to be in the midst of it. He will come and answer you right where you're at. You're going through something, call him. He will answer you right where you at. Burdens is not for us to carry. It's for us to turn it over to God. So those heavy burdens that's too much for you, turn it over to God and let him have his way. Be encouraged. I am praying for each and every one. If you have special prayer requests, then please email me at victoriouspeople1111@gmail.com. I will lay before God on your behalf. I am praying for you. Please send in your requests. Please send in your comments. I love to talk with you, to chat with you, because we're in this together. You're not alone. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Signing off.